Hi, I'm HP and welcome to Jazz Blues Essentials. I mean, what are essentials? More or less the minimum things you need to know about jazz blues. So let's see how it sounds, more or less, and then get into details. And so on. The thing at the end was not essential anymore. But there are a few things to know, and they're not too hard. And if you know them, you're pretty much able to play jazz blues or any kind of jazzy, bluesy tune. A lot in jazz is related to blues, so if you can play jazz blues, you're pretty much able to get into the world of jazz without too much theoretical knowledge. So let's see what's going on Jazz Blues Essentials. Good. The main thing we need to know in jazz in general is, or the main things which is of real importance, is the so-called form. If you don't know the form, you have no chance in jazz. What is the form? It's the chord structure and the chord structure of the song. So jazz blues mostly is in F. If you go to the real book, a lot of jazz blues tunes are in F, so we're going to check it out in F. So it's pretty similar to normal blues. It's also 12-bar blues with quick change. And in this case, in F, we have 1 bar F, 1 bar B flat. Of course, now we're playing the jazzy chords. This would be F9, or only the upper part. When you're playing jazz, we'll a lot of play the upper part. I call them the small chords. It's just the upper part of the chord. So F9, B flat 13. I'm going to play this one, which would be B flat 9 13. You have here bar A, bar A, bar A. Then 1 bar F. And on some jazz blues, but not on this one, the next bar would be divided in 2 chords, C minor 7 on F7 or F altered, but in this case we play 2 bars F. We want to keep it pretty easy. Now we have 2 bars of B flat. I play this one again. We have here in the 6th, 7 and bar in the 8th. In some jazz blues, the second bar would be B diminished, but in this case we play 2 bars of B flat 7. Then again 1 bar F, then 1 bar D7 altered, which would be like the D7 sharp 9. But since we're playing the small chords, we play the same chord as before on B flat, move it down 2 frets, and now we have this is D7 sharp 9 flat 13, if you're interested in how it's called. Then we have 1 bar of G minor 7, so we can play this one here. Or if you want, this is a little bit nicer. This would be G9, G minor 9, and C9. And then we have a so-called turnaround, which is 2 beats, it's only 2 bars with 4 chords, 2 beats F9, 2 beats D7 altered, 2 beats G9, and 2 beats C9. Now you can play the jazz blues only with the chords. This would be sound a little bit like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And now it starts from the beginning. So that was the entire jazz blues form. The chords are pretty essential. Well, as I said, the form is very important because when you play jazz blues, you refer always on the chords. You have some tricks where you can somehow work around the chords. You don't need to really follow. But in this case, on the essentials, we play like basic soloing with easy scales, but we're following the chords with the small chords. What does that mean? Now, since this is blues, you can take your chops from normal blues, which you know, in F. So if in F, you can play F minor pentatonics, which doesn't really sound very jazzy. So, but if we play the blues scale with a flat 5, now we're already pretty jazzy. But on jazz, we don't play bendings, you know, that typical bluesy licks. Like we don't play those here. We play more smooth. So something like we use a lot of sliding technique, something like this, or see now. The blue note is very important to really highlight the jazz feeling. See, and only slightly little vibrators. If you want the really hardcore jazz, they don't play vibrato at all. See. Oh, this is, I think this is the most important lick you need to know. If you can do that one, you're really pretty much among the winners in jazz. You do it, it goes like this. It's hammer on, pull off, and on. Now we attack here again. See? Now attack and then. So. Pretty easy stuff and sounds great. So let's see how it works. So, now this all alone sounds a little bit boring, of course. It's only one kind of expression. Now we can add some little spice into it by adding the small chords as explained at the beginning or before the scale now. Now you need to know where you are in the form of the tune, that you can put in like some syncopes with a chord which is just at the moment present. Means you can play the simple stuff as showed, and then make some like, I don't know, on the pizza it would be the chilies, like something which gives a little bit punch. So I gotta show what I mean. See, now I mixed it up with chords. And now it starts to sound very interesting, but still, even if we are playing very simple stuff with the soloing. Now, if you want to add another kind of chili on your pizza, or whatever, the Italian pizzas, they have these terrible fishes on that, these salty fish which I really hate. They are called sardinen. They're terrible. So, but we're adding this one as well if you want. For me, this will be the pepperoni. And this is octaves. It's kind of this Wes Montgomery thing. You can play the entire scale and with octaves, meaning if we're playing the blues, this and taking this blues scale here, because that one is very handy on F. See, that one here. Now you can play the entire scale in octaves. And what I do, I take the pinky as the orientation point. The pinky goes through the scale, see? The entire scale with the pinky. And now I just add the octaves below, which is one, you skip one string, damp the middle one, and on the two high strings you have 3 frets. See? And now, from now on, it's 2 frets. And to really make it sound cool, you do a lot of the sliding stuff. That makes the smoothness. So, let's see how the pepperoni works on our jazz pizza. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Oh, this terrible fish. If you like the fish, you take the fish. So, now we have cheese. Cheese will be the normal soloing. This makes the margarita, pizza margarita. Then we have the chilies with the chords. And we have the pepperoni or this terrible fish with the octaves. Now you can put on your jazz pizza whatever you want. I mean, it's like if you're cooking. I mean, if you only put pepperonis on it's disgusting or it's a little bit boring. So mix it up tastefully, and that makes it pretty easy. Yo, it's really cool, that stuff. I mean, it could not be easier. With actually nearly no theoretical knowledge, you can go through this stuff. Now, if you want to have some kind of a highlight, you can play runs. I think you call them sloppy runs. And in this case, it's played in, how's it called, triols. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, no. No, wait. Oh, these now 6 or 3. Ah. So, if you want to have some speed on the whole thing, let's say the speed, okay, we take the speed as the chili. The chords which were before the chili were, I don't know what you take there. Well, it's up to you how you name the stuff. But anyway, if you want to play some runs, in jazz, you don't play too much with hammer and pull-off. You need to attack all notes, and therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And the blues scale is very cool because these are sextols. I was looking for the wrong words. So this was 6 notes per beat. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it really fits well. Playing sextols slow are very easy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem, of course, of sextols, the beat is fast, so it has to be that speed. And I mean, it's a matter of training, of course. Just stay relaxed in your picking hand and practice slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this. And then, holy moly. Works nice. With the blues scale you cannot really go wrong. You can make small sequences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like if you, this one's also very handy. Played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So, and what you do a lot, you slide in the first note before you play runs, or you hold it. And this is called phrasing, very important. But of course, in this case, it doesn't really fit perfect on the sexals, so you need to fill it up somehow. I do it intuitively, but if you want to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it's, you like add one additional. And that's the thing. Also works. Oops. Yeah, I mean, as I said before on the other elements which you're working out now, thinking about the pizza again, don't put too much of the same thing on your pizza, because it is going to sound boring, or the taste will be boring, and you want to have happy guests and that they come back again and they don't kill you on stage. So try to mix it up with taste, and that makes the cool thing. And somehow it has to be somehow related to each other. That's a little bit a tricky part of it. I mean, if you play a little motif like, then you play a chord. When you come back to the first ingredient, this will be the cheese, then you somehow need to refer to what you play before, otherwise it gets too much mixed up. Somehow it has to stay together. Or if you play the chords, like 2, 3, 4, 1, then play the same rhythm pattern or related to the rhythm pattern you play before, and that makes it stick together. And on the runs, don't exaggerate with the runs. I mean, it's cool to have some runs, but my personal experience is, if you're too much stuck to runs, you will not sound cool. Jazz is about coolness. I mean, it's a point. Always the point. What do you want to express? And I think if you want to be a cool cat, a cool jazz cat, play cool. If you want to be I don't know, a hyperactive jazz cat, then of course play runs. It's really up to you what you want to express. But I personally prefer the cool style. So then it's and stuff like this. So here I was really talking about the essential in jazz blues. We have the different types of the different elements, which we call pizza ingredients. But I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It's just I seem to have an addiction to pizza. But especially when it comes to blues, I always talk about pizzas. I don't know why. I have no clue. Maybe this guitar, which I call Midnight Express, by the way, has an idea. No, but serious. When we come into these different parts, try to play with these parts. I mean, on jazz blues, you don't need to have too much theoretical knowledge. As I said in the beginning, you need to know the form. That has to be really on top. You always need to know where you are in the form, otherwise you cannot play with the different elements, because somehow you get lost, and it only works if you know where you are and you can stick to what you played with one element, go to another one, come back to the first element and continue what you did before. And if you want to get into a highlight or something like this, you need to know what you did before, otherwise you cannot relate to what and make a highlight out of the entry phrase you played. And that's maybe the difficult part of it. The single elements of it are pretty easy to play, but that you have control over what you're doing, that you can make it smooth and make it the way you want. That's the hard work, and of course takes some time. Therefore, of course, you need to be a little bit a fan of jazz. I love jazz, basically. I mean, as a jazz guitarist, at least in Switzerland, you have no chance to make a living. So nobody knows that I can play jazz, but I can. A little bit, at least a little bit. Yeah, but the stuff is really pretty easy, and I'd make a final round now to show you again what I'm doing. Try to command it. Start easy with an element. Make a break, let the music breathe. Now I get a little more excited. Now we pick it up and continue. Third element, octaves. Fourth element, runs. Then come back to the beginning. And so on. Yeah, it's a little bit hard to command and play some kind in a serious matter, but I just wanted to show how you mix up the elements. And the part which I didn't comment at all, that would be somehow you learn some licks somehow, and then as a highlight, then you put in your licks. If you know only 2 licks, that's okay. You can fill up a whole chorus with 2 licks if you let it breathe. But I mean, that's really up to you. And on licks, this will come on other tutorials later, where you learn some licks, so you'll find licks anywhere in the internet. I mean, it doesn't make too much sense to repeat licks which you already found everywhere. So these were the jazz blues essentials. I hope you enjoy this and you will start to create your own jazz pizza. Yo, I'm signing off. HPCrazy, the jazz pizza cooker from Switzerland. Yo, see ya.